Hello, everybody. All right, I think we're live. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes for everybody to join who signed up. But here we are, new office hour format. So I'm George. I'm the head of product here at Draftbit. And every week we've been not so great in the past, or for the past few weeks, because we got very focused on other stuff. But every week we're going to do an office hour, which is essentially me and maybe my coworker Rahul that might join us in a few minutes, trying to answer your questions, as many questions as we can. And I already see a few people are joining. I'll figure out. So we're using a new platform to run those called Crowdcast. So I'm not completely familiar with it yet. So we'll learn it together, folks. So yeah. And worst case scenario, if nobody has questions, we'll go through our ask for help channel in a community website, and I'll just try to answer as many questions as I can for an hour. So we're going to be here for an hour. Everything I cannot cover, or everything I think is going to be taking longer than an hour, I might just put them aside and reach out to people after the fact, just to make sure we have time to at least go through a few of those. Okay, so there's also a comment section on the bottom right. Let's see if that worked. Can I say something? Here we go. I'll wave at you guys. So I see a few people. I hear Julian, Rahul. Oh, Rahul is here. So Rahul is the coworker I was telling you about. So I'm going to try and invite him right now. Then Eric is here as well. So let's see if it works to bring Rahul, and then I might bring other people. Hey, Rahul, how you doing? I cannot see you. Sorry, I can see you, but I cannot hear you. I don't know. Your mic seems on my end. By the way, I should have asked that. Toggle. Can people? Yes. Let's ask Eric and Julian. So yeah, I don't know why I do not hear you. This is a bit problematic, but we'll figure it out. I think mine is working, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay, let's try to re-invite Rahul. Again, because this is a new platform, we're just getting started. Hopefully, as we do that again, we will have figured out all those technical difficulties. Rahul, I think we can hear you now.
Okay. Hi, Georges. Hi, everyone else. My name is Rahul. I just wanted to introduce myself. I am a success engineer here at Draftbit, and looking forward to doing this live stream with Georges here and see what we can accomplish today.
Yeah, great. Thanks for joining me. Oh, I think we'll see how it goes. I might hear an echo of my voice in your background. I might feel tricky. Do you have headphones or any chance, like anything like that by any chance?
Yes, I'll figure that out. I'll grab a pair of headphones.
Okay, cool. All right, so we have two people right now. So I'm going to bring them one by one, starting with Julian. And we're going to try to address whatever question they have. All right, Julian, I'm going to invite you so you can come and talk to us. Oh, I think I might have lost. Did I lose Rahul? It says on screen. I'm not seeing him. Oh, he might have. It just took off his video. Oh, okay. So maybe I see. Sorry, Julien. I see that you guys already posted a few questions. Man, you guys are good. You're much on top of it than I am. Okay, so I'm going to cancel inviting you. We'll try. You know what? Tell me in the comments if you'd rather come and be invited and we can all talk, or if you'd rather me just answer a question. Until I figure that out, I'm just going to get started with your question. So first question, what is best practice for binding a picker component to values when making a post request to Airtable? Okay, great question. So let me think of that. Best practice for the picker component to Airtable. Okay, all right, let's do that. Let's try to do that quick. I'm going to put you guys downstairs, I mean on my second screen. Sorry, I don't know. And then I'm going to share my top screen, and we're going to take it from there. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 sec. How do we share screen on this platform? Share screen. Okay, sweet. I'm just going to share this window. That should be enough. Right. Okay, so Raul, I assume you can still hear me. Okay, sweet. So the question was how to do picker with Airtable. So let's get started, and I'm going to do a brand new app. We're going to try to do that quickly. Picker with Airtable. Let's see how fast we can make that. I'm aiming for like 5-ish minutes or less, ideally. Okay, so we have a blank screen. We want to add a picker component. Picker. The first thing to know. Sorry. Let me do the little web preview so you can see. Okay, this is my picker. It's undefined. There's no option around it. I have to like set it up. The first thing to know about picker is that you can set different options. Obviously, like kind of all the options you're gonna have in your drop down. So the way that works, you can either pass it data, which we're gonna do in a sec, that with the data is coming from Airtable. But what I want to highlight right now is that the format that component is expecting is a little specific, and it goes something like this. It's a list of I'll do one better. What I'm going to do is share my whole desktop so you have a better view of what I mean. So let me go back and share on my desktop for just 1 sec. It'll be a better experience for you guys, I guarantee. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If you were to do some research about the picker, as you're trying to find out what it can do, if you look at our doc, picker input and control. Okay, and now in there we should find the picker component. Oh, I just passed a date picker component. There you go, picker. So I think we show, yeah, exactly. So in options, see that format? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. So I'm going to do one better even. I'm going to jisn lint it. All right, that way it's big. All right, now you guys can see it. Okay, so that's the format that the picker is expecting. So it's a list of options, and an option is a label and a value. The label is what's going to show up in that drop down on the user screen, and the value is kind of in the background of the kind of value you're going to send back and forth if you want to say that in database or stuff like that. The user doesn't have to say it. It can be the same. Nobody's stopping you for doing value and label to be the same. That's totally acceptable. But essentially, that's what we want to do. So yeah, going back here, just to finish up on my example. So if we take that and we put it in our builder as an option, custom value, here we go. Now, when I say preview that list option, I can see it here, foo and bar, which are the two values. You can see at the top of my screen here, the two values that I had. Now I can have an initial value And for that, it will be, for example, actually, I'm wondering, I want to find out, is the initial value the whole dictionary or just one value? We're going to try it out. We're going to see. That'll be cool. Right, so foo. Okay, so it is. I can set my initial value, which makes sense. So if you want foo, if you want the initial value to be bar, that's fine too. Here we go, and now it's bar. And as I change it, I can, that will change the state of that component. So that's how you do it essentially statically. Now, we want to do that with Airtable. So very as quickly as I can, I'm going to try to make a Airtable example of it all. By the way, Julian, if that doesn't make sense, or if I'm going too fast or stuff like that, let me know in the comments. And maybe Raul, if you keep an eye on the comment, and if you see that I'm missing one, let me know.
Will do.
Speaker with Airtable. That's going to be my example. And Airtable gives you so much like default stuff when you start new. I always end up deleting everything. Anyway. So just one table, foo, bar. I don't need that third one. And so because it's a picker, what is going to be? Going to be a single select, right? And it's going to be. I'm going to add a few options. I'm going to do like the days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Stop it at that. Okay. Create those fields. This one is going to be Monday. This one is going to be Tuesday, and that's it. Okay. So by the way, I haven't done that before, so I'm hoping it will end up working properly. So the first thing you need to do to connect it to Draftbit is add Draftbit as a service. Add Airtable as a service. I'm going to add it. I'm going to say it's my Airtable service. And if you look at the Airtable documentation, you saw me go to like the API documentation, you'll see that it gives you everything you need, which is essentially kind of what's the base URL for that API. So in my case, it's this. I'm also going to give it you see that thing? It needs kind of an authorization ID. So I'm going to need that. And for that, I'm going to, because I don't really want you guys to see my API key. So I'm going to create a app variable, and I'm going to move out of this screen for just a sec. So hopefully you guys don't see my stuff. But what I'm doing is creating this like Airtable API key in a global variable in Draftbit. Give me 1 sec. I won't be long. Okay. Oh. Authorization header and there. Okay, so now I'm essentially done with this. Okay, so if I go back, here it is. So now going back to kind of creating that Airtable endpoint that I was. Sorry. I'm doing that back and forth to hide. I used to not hide API key value from screencast, and I don't know, starting to feel bad about that. So just continuing my example, I'm going to call it Airtable. This is the endpoint, and I'm going to add an authorization header that I've just set in my global variable. That's the part I did without you seeing it because I didn't want to show it. Okay, and now I need one endpoint. In my case, the endpoint is just table. That's the name of the table I'm using. So here we go. Passing it the authorization header. So I should at least just get my data. That's it. That's simple. I'm getting foo and bar done. That's my endpoint. And what I want to do is replace that like hard-coded value with what I'm getting from Airtable. So I'm going to need to do a fetch to fetch the data from Airtable. And so I'm selecting the service Airtable. I'm selecting the endpoint. Where is happening? Give me 1 sec. Anyway, I just refreshed my screen. I don't know what that was happening. When in doubt, a quick refresh doesn't hurt. So now I'm getting a list, right? I'm getting a list of all of those entries. So it's cool, but I need to iterate through them. So here's a list component. And I'm going to say on the data property panel, I'm going to say iterate through all the records. And if you're not familiar with Airtable, that's kind of, yeah, those links stopped working a few days ago. Anyway, that's kind of what the response is. So it's an object with something called records in it, and then that records is the list. So I want to iterate through those records, and that's why I have to specify it here. That's record. Now I'm going to essentially be now iterating. So I'm going to take this one and this one, and now as I'm saying it, I'm just realizing that I don't necessarily want to iterate through them one by one, because in the context of a picker, I want to give like both of them to the picker component, not just one. So it's a little bit different than what I typically do when I want to show data from Airtable. I'm going to get rid of that list, actually. That was not the right approach. What I want is a picker right inside my fetch, and in that option field, I'm going to pass it. I'm going to have to do a couple of things. I'm going to pass it the record. Now, that's cool, but the record, if you remember, is not the same format as what my picker is expecting. Remember that format I just shared? I don't know why I deleted it. But remember, that was the format. So that's the format I want.
Right.
And this is a format I have. So I need to run a transformation to just change.
Georges, would you be able to maximize your window here?
Oh, yeah.
So
how is this?
Yeah, that's much better.
Is that good? And I'm going to make it like that, a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay, good call. Okay, so I have those records. I need to transform it with a custom function that doesn't exist yet, but I can make one. So here you go. I go to that little function thing to write some custom code. It should be like not too complicated. We'll try to do it together. How is that going to be called? Airtable to picker. Airtable records to picker data. That's explicit. And all it takes is a record. So that's kind of the input. And what I need to do, so that's, oh man, I'm going to have to brush up my coding skill a little bit. So I'm going to okay, so I'm going to start with the data, and then I'm going to iterate. I'm a Python developer myself, so JavaScript is not my strong suit. So bear with me for just a sec. Iterate through all of those records, check the field name. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Oh, I'll do it badly, and then we'll do it the right way. Yeah, let's do that. So first record, I'm going to take fields, select. Yeah, field. Is that the right one? Field select. Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually going to do. As I'm doing it, I'm realizing something else that I'll address in a sec. But let me try to finish this so I'm not too confusing, and then we'll address it. So.
So basically, here we are just hard coding the values that we are getting from the response, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So this is not quite that's dynamic because it works because I know we only have 2 right now, and I just want to demo what you would typically do. I also honestly don't want to spend too much time writing JavaScript in this podcast. That's why I'm trying to figure out the quickest way to get to our goal. But typically you will do something. So let's say value and label. That was it, right? So okay. Option 1. I'm going to use the same value and label right now. I won't do the differentiation. Okay. How does that look? So that's the format we want. So the format should be good. And then I think that should work. Field, am I missing something? No, I think it's good, right? Oh, yeah, record 0 and 1, fields, select. Okay, let's try that. Let's give that a try. So here's my function, Airtable record to picker. So now those records, I'm going to transform them with that custom function. Let's see what happens. Cannot read property of undefined select. Interesting. So here, this is undefined. Why is that undefined? This is the result. I'm passing a record, so it is an array. Am I passing it records? Yeah, I'm passing a record. It's an object array. The good thing, I'm going to use that also opportunity to show, you can always look at the code that's being generated. So in this case, I can see what's being generated. This is my function that is just at the top of my screen. Airtable. So taking the first record and this second record, turning that to field selects. Oh, field is not capitalized. Look at that. Ooh. All right, let's go fix that right away. Change that function, no uppercase. Exactly. Okay. All right. So now if I kind of resettle that, I've set the initial value to something else. So now here we go. So I see Monday and Tuesday. So that's how I will do it. And then obviously, when you want to then send it, I won't cover that because I want to make sure we cover other things. But you will typically, maybe at the end you have like a button solid, and then that button, when you make an action, I'm going to give that picker a name first so I can reference it, pick a value. Okay, fine. And then in that button, as I do maybe an API call to Airtable again. So I'll have to set up the endpoint to post something to Airtable because I'm assuming the user wants to do it back and forth. Then here I would have access to that picker value as well. So I can send the result of whatever the user selected, if that makes sense. Okay, so does that make sense? Raul, what do you think? Was that?
Yeah, it was surprisingly easier than what I thought it would be. It's just this part where you get the values from Airtable, and then you have to basically transform them into what the picker really wants to get. And this is how it happens. So it's pretty simple.
Yeah, you will want to make you will want to do a loop here, essentially, to cover all your cases. But people, we can follow up on that if people are blocked with that. But for now, that should address. Okay, what's the next? Oop. I changed something. I don't know. Anyway, what's the next question? Let's find out. Okay. Top question. How do I mark a question answered, by the way? Oh, they were start answering. Look at that. Maybe that will do a better clip next time I do that. Okay. What is it? Right. So I'm going to just, for now, mark them as answered in the title. I'm going to change the title to answer just so we know it's been answered. Okay, but yeah, moving on. Okay, so if you guys want to vote through, I'm going to take someone else's question. Sorry, Julian, just so we have a little bit of opportunity to see other people. Eric is saying, really looking for help on custom code. Okay, Eric, happy to help. let us know what specific question you have, and we'll try to
Yeah.
address those.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then,
If you
go ahead.
Yeah, if you can post the question here, and we will be able to do that live for you if we are able to do it. So we can showcase that to you as well, if it's possible, right? It's
Yeah.
not every time that you can do something live right away. So if we are able to, we will definitely be able to do that for you, Eric.
Okay, so the next question is, how do we get around Xano auth with magic links? Currently, Sendgrid is declining free accounts when you try to make them, making magic link Sendgrid impossible to do. Even Twilio SMS is impossible. How do you get around Xano auth with magic link? So I guess I'm trying to pause that question a little bit. I think there's a lot to do with Sendgrid and specific stuff here. I'm actually not a big Sendgrid user, so I don't know a little bit specific of Sendgrid, but I believe, let's find out. I think, this is definitely not what I meant to type. Docs. Is it in community? I think we have a guide for that, for the Xano auth with magic link. Don't we? I think a man. It's something like that. Low code, passwordless, which is essentially what magic is. Well, okay, that's not exactly fair. So there's this thing here. I'm going to share it in the chat. So this thing lets you do how do they call it? OTP, one-time password. So you put your phone number and then they send you a token, like 5 digits or 6 digits or whatever, and then you use that to then connect to your app. So we have a guide to do that. I've done it myself. Xano has great documentation as well. So yeah, that's the SMS magic link. So we cover that here. Take a look at that and let me know if you're blocked with that. I think for what the person here might be referring to is the link you get in your email. So you're not getting like a code from your text message. You're getting an email that automatically logs you in. I don't know if we have a doc specifically for that, but I would assume, I bet Xano has doc for that. Because it's most, to be, it feels like it's almost more something you're gonna have to handle with on the Xano side. But let's find out if they have some doc. Michi or Xano.com. Oh, not Draftbit. I think where are the docs? Doc.xano. Okay, and then I can't type today. Xano.com. Okay, it is. So let's search for magic link. Oh, I typed too fast. Magic link with Sendgrid email. Oh man, that sounds like exactly what we want. Magic link with Sendgrid email. And it's a YouTube video. All right, I'm gonna pass the ad. We don't need to look at ads. And then it's Prakash. Look at that, making a little video on how to do magic link passwordless app authentication. So I'm just gonna link that here. For now, I try following that guide. One of the steps seems outdated since you can retrieve points from the guide. You are not able to retrieve endpoint data. How to explain? You get a step where Sendgrid tokens are needed. You can't get any tokens since Sendgrid won't let you make free accounts. Work around as if Draftbit as a secondary solution to make this work. To be honest, if like the issue is that Sendgrid does not do free account, and that there's not much we can do there. I'm not sure how to help here. I would do. I mean, what I would do is maybe try that OTP, like one-time password stuff with text messages. I know it's a slightly different UX, but I don't think I use Sendgrid. I think I use Twilio, and I know for a fact that that works well in Draftbit because we have, like I shared earlier, we have a doc for that. So maybe try that. Yeah, that's the best I have right now. Unless, I don't know, Raul, if you have any thought, but otherwise, I'm going to move on to the next question.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, let's see. Are you going to do? Oh, Eric.
Yeah,
Oh,
Eric
Eric
has
shared a link.
yeah.
Great. That's perfect, Eric. Thanks for doing that. Exactly what we're looking for. Oh wait, was it a link to? I thought it was going to be a link to your question, Eric, but it's a link to the package. I think you might have shared already the question on community. So let me try to find integrating Plaid Link. I think that might be the question. Yeah. Okay. Let's assume that's the question. Okay. I need to link Plaid to my app using custom code. I found an Expo compatible NPM. What's the process of integrating this? I've tried to follow the doc as well as I can, but in some of the areas, they're quite opaque. Okay, so that's the Expo Plaid Link. Let's, I like to go back to the source every time. Let's see what Expo has to say about Plaid. Not the just paid. Not what I want. Do they have no? Do guide. Okay, well, I can't find anything here, so maybe not. All right, so let's get started. I won't probably won't have time to go and actually make that work, but I can tell you, Eric, how I will get started. Hopefully that's helpful already. So I need to link Plaid to my app using custom code. So first of all, I'm not familiar with it. So what does Expo Plaid Link does? Use the Plaid Link flow inside your Expo app. Geez. Okay. Is Plaid Link like a thing? Link overview. Yeah. Oh, is that? Plaid Link is a client-side component that your user will interact with in order to link their app accounts to Plaid and allow you to access the accounts via the Plaid API. Okay, so that's how you connect your bank account. Okay. To pass the temporary token to your app. Okay, so typically there's a good amount of back and forth, kind of almost like some kind of auth flow, and I'm assuming this package kind of simplify a lot of it. So how do we use it now that I understand a little bit more of what it is? Okay, that's just a component. There is a link in my configuration. I have to go figure that out. Okay, I guess that's the link. On events, console log. On exit, console log, fine. And on success, console. Okay, so essentially it doesn't do much here. All right, so what I will do is let's go to an app. Personal. Plaid. Expo Plaid. Either way, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong by saying Plaid, right? Isn't it? How do you pronounce it? What's the right English way to pronounce it? I think it's pronounced. Was it Plaid? Am I doing it wrong? Ah, geez, it's pronounced Plaid. Look at me and my ridiculous French accent. Okay. So Plaid. Let's code it the way it should be coded. Did I not create the app already? Oh, I thought I did. All right, Plaid, Expo Plaid Link. So what I will do is in Draftbit, you can always import your own package and create your own components. So you have to go to the custom code section, go to package, and then here, I'm gonna give it the name of the package. Now, to be fair, though, I know the package is called Expo Plaid Link, but Plaid Link, sorry, but it still seems to be coming from like the Expo. So I mean, just my skeptical self is wondering if that's really an Expo supported thing or just someone built that.
Yeah, especially concerning security and everything, and having so it's not that popular.
Oh, you check the numbers? Yeah, I don't know how much to evaluate those, but I guess you're right. All right, well, at least we'll show the process and then people can make their own decision. So this is the package. And then in custom components, I will essentially follow the guideline, which is here. Keep going back to the wrong place. It's already a React. I guess I need the text. Okay. So this is essentially what it looks like. I'm calling the package here, which allow me to use a component. The one thing I'm missing is obviously, first of all, because that's creating the whole app. So if I'm not, let me go back quick. The way we want is more something along those lines. So let me do a little bit of, sorry about that. Let me do a little bit of juggling. I think you're gonna have to call it, so constant, and then am I correct to do it this way? What did I miss now? There we go. All right, so that's how I do my component. I'm gonna call it Expo Plaid. I don't think I get used to it, folks. Written Plaid. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway. Okay, so the one thing we're missing, I'm going to save that for now, is that config. So obviously, not obviously, but in Draftbit, you don't really have access to like any file like that yet. It's actually something that we are looking into, how to allow for that. Do you see, guys, we have the little prettier little functionality to format your code. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm being distracted. So we don't have the ability to just add any file like that. We might be doing it at some point. For now, what you're gonna have to do is put it either in a global variable or maybe for the case of this example, like hard code it entirely, just to illustrate. So what are the demo? Git clone the thing, create a file in the root. So that's the thing we're not gonna have. Update the main entry. Okay. So if we were to do something like this, I'm thinking that in theory, that's all we will need. What do you think, Raul? You have more experience with me with React Native stuff, right?
So the link token is basically, is that an object now?
I think it'll just be equivalent if I do this. Is that what you meant?
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I would do. I mean, I don't assume that will work now because that link is not correct. But and then the way you use that on your screen is with that custom code component, and you want to go on the right side and call it custom code. You just have to reference it. And how did I call it? Expo Plaid Link, something like that. So we can, let's try a preview. We don't have much to lose. I doubt, because we don't have the right thing, that it will work, but at least, something is there. Maybe we can do a little text in there. Expo Plaid Link, so we can see that it's there. For that, I'm going to use, oh wait, give me 1 sec here. Just 1 second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna, oh, I need that component. What did I do wrong? Plaid Link. What did I do wrong?
It needs to have one parent. So
you're right. You are so right, Rahul. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the view.
And I think Eric has explained in the comments as well that it's basically a preloaded screen where the user clicks a button and it generates a Plaid screen for them to securely select their account and enter password. Is what this does, this package.
Okay. So it's not returning anything here for me. I mean, I didn't expect the whole thing to work, but I expected to at least see something. So why is that? I'm not getting any console error. Yeah, it's unclear. We got the package, Expo Plaid Link. We bring it here. And then we display it. The arrow kind of showing that custom code in the screen works because we're able to see the text. So that thing worked. Yeah, I'm running a little bit of ideas on what might be going on with this thing. At the very least, I would say, so that's kind of the direction I will go. Anything beyond that, I'm not going to attempt because I don't have a good path forward. I don't know that plugin, that package. I don't know. Do you have any thought, Rahul, or should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I think we should, because I'm not even aware of this package as well. And as I said, like it is, I'm not sure how valid this is, but if there is a use case for it and you're sure that it's secure enough, because this is involving financial transactions, I would basically, just check with the package as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not too aware of what's happening here.
Yeah, integrating Plaid and React Native app. Oh, clicking Expo. Oh, wait, this one might be interesting too. I won't spend too much time. I just want to get a sense what people do, essentially what we did here. So that's okay. This one is the one we essentially just looked at. I'm just curious to know who that person is. Web and mobile app development. Okay. And then what is that person saying? It's embedded the library person that just asking not really by the web view. Just copy the component code and then upload. All right, so it looks like that might be small issue. It still it should be working. Oh, the person said to copy the whole component. Okay, well, that's going to be a little bit more involved. All right, that's in a tiny way. That's all we can do for now. But so Eric, let us know if you try any of that, and if that doesn't work, maybe that's why you already tried. So let us know. All right. mark this one as answer. So where are we at now? What question? Any update? I'm going to go back to the top of the list now. Any update about refresh control, refetch when using services like Airtable? Great question, Julian. Happy to answer that. So we've had the feature request to be able to refetch, which essentially means you have a fetch on the screen, you do an action, maybe you delete an item, you add an item, and you want that list to be updated. So people are thinking, well, I want to have an action that I can say refresh that list, which is very reasonable. There's a few things going on. First of all, if you were to do that flow with more than one screen, so if you say add an item and takes you to a different screen, and then you add your item and then you come back, that works, because when you come back, the list will be refetched. So that's great. So you can already do that if you do it with more than one screen. If you do it all on one screen and you want that to work, you guys might have heard of a feature flag that we experimented with at some point, because I've heard of some people mentioning that in the community. So yes, we did experiment with that. This is not a viable option at the moment. So I mean, we would rather not turn that on for everybody, because it's only for fetches that are at the screen level. It's not fully tested anyway. There's a few issues with that. But what's exciting is we actually have a better solution that's coming up. We are inside Draftbit integrating React Query, which will let us do just that. It will let us do that refetch. So you'll have multiple endpoints, one to get the whole list, one to like edit one item, and they essentially reference the same entity. It'll be like an item or a to-do list or whatever it is that the entity you're trying to affect. And then as long as they touch the same entity, when you change one, the second one will be dynamically updated as well. So long story short, you'll be able to do exactly that use case once we're done, and we are testing it internally maybe today or tomorrow. Honestly, we're very close. So give us like a week or two max, and we should have something to share on that front. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I know that's a big deal. We've been working on that for a long time. We're super excited. It kind of opened a lot of opportunities, a lot of cool stuff you can do with that. So we're gonna communicate a lot more about React Query over the next few weeks, because it will really take the builder to the next level. All right, let's see other questions. I see one more. Any news about custom typography or using Google Font and Adobe Typekit? So yes, a little bit of context. A few months ago now, we used to have like multiple themes, and you could have like one theme per screen. Like, it was a little bit complicated but powerful. But the reason we actually experimented with that, we experimented in removing it or hiding it for now, or kind of taking a step back and rethinking it, because it was a little bit confusing and too complicated for a user. So we've simplified things for now, and all you have access to right now is colors. So you set a color and you reuse it everywhere you want, and you can update it in one spot, and it'll be updated everywhere. Like I said, we used to have that for typography as well. We don't have that anymore. So now every time you add a font, you'll have to like select that font for everywhere you want it to be applied, which is one part of the answer. The second part of the answer, which I guess is what Julian is getting at, is we have a limited amount of font. We have a good amount. You see on the screen. Do you see on the screen? I think you do, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can play along. You can use all of those. Pretty versatile. So you can do a bunch of stuff. But there's not all your font, all the font you might want. So we have started the work to integrate with Google Fonts, which give us like, I don't even know, like thousands of fonts, like something crazy like that. So we've done that. I think I don't want to be over promising, but I think it also by default supports kind of left to right and right to left languages or fonts, I should say. So that would be a great addition or so to the builder. Like I said, we started the work. I'm going to be very honest, it hasn't been a top priority, just because, while this is a very nice to have, we already offer a good amount, and we have so much other thing to do. So it's not a top priority, but if you give us maybe a few weeks, that will be something that's probably gonna have an opportunity to release. So that's coming. That's definitely on the roadmap. Okay, let me go back to those questions. Edit this one. Let's see what else I did not answer.
So
I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if we're good here and on the chat, two things. First of all, I know we kind of did not fully address Arturo's question about the Sendgrid. So please, Arturo, if you have more specific or stuff that we can help more with beyond just like, we can't do much about the Sendgrid accounts or plans, but if you have something a bit more specific to achieve a use case, let us know. We can come back to that now that we've addressed all the other ones. Otherwise, in the 10-ish minute we have left, let's take a look at our community website, see who we can help. And by the way, that's a great time to do a little bit of side note. So Rahul introduced himself. He's joined our team, and it's been just a few days, but he's already been doing a ton of work on the community and answering a question and being super helpful. So you're going to see a lot more of Rahul over the next week and month. So I'm very glad you were able to join. And so this is typically where you see where you're going to see more and more of Rahul, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's right. And yeah, I'm actually very looking forward to helping everyone. So if you have any questions, please don't be afraid, ask for help. That's what we are here for. And yeah, looking forward to get to know more of you guys.
Sweet. All right, in just a few minutes, let's look at those questions. The one that I not answer, should I take them kind of by the bottom a little bit? I'm going to try, because that way at least the old stuff are not being left unanswered. So I'm going to go to the bottom and try to quickly scan to see if I see, I guess they all answer. I was looking for that little number to see like how many answered did not get answered, but look at that, there's a 1 or 2. It doesn't mean they fixed, but at least someone reached out. So if that's the case, let's look at this one. The React Native, sorry, have you already looked at that? Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually not a question. I think it's a suggestion by John.
Okay.
So he's pretty good at that. Like whatever he figures out, he posts it on the community for other guys to, if they run into the same problem, they can have a look at it.
Got it. Okay.
Right. So it's just a slight omission that we have on our docs is what the suggestion is, but it still works.
Cool. All right. If that's the case, I'll move on to another one. Thank you for the context. Original custom block changes across screen. Can be in custom code, can be across a drive. Is there a way to create special instance of custom blocks that can be edited once and the custom block? Okay, so the way we do it right now, this is an interesting question, is when you do some like layout stuff, like a view and a text and an image or whatever, you can save that as a block, what we call a custom block, and then you can reuse it somewhere else. But it's really just once, like it's a copy paste that happened just once. Meaning, if you go back and change the original one, it's not being reflected on the one you used other places. So it's not like how does Figma call it? Like a mirror? They use something like that, right? Like, I mean, that concept is used in other platforms. So it's a very good idea. It's not something we support right now. It's honestly a little hard to prioritize right now because it's a little bit of a more advanced use case that not a lot of our users have run into, but definitely it would be nice to have. So something we'll get to at some point. Okay, I'm going to make sure I address different people. Oh, this is you're responding to this one. Still on screens. Should we get into that, or you already covered it, Rahul? The text data steals on screen.
I think this is the one that there's like the double click feature.
Yeah. Okay, so that you already covered. Delete component block. not working. Oh, I think this is related in the sense of, yeah, you have your save block, the custom block I was just talking about. We have an issue where when you try to delete it, it doesn't go away, which is annoying. It's not, I mean, to be helpful, it's not, it should not be blocking you, meaning it doesn't affect your current screen, but it's still there and you can delete it. So it's definitely annoying and something we have an open issue for and we're going to fix. Okay, how to configure an URL image. I think this one.
This is the one that, yeah, so this is the one in which you need like the string interpolation in the image URL. Like,
oh, yeah. Yeah, this is very interesting. So right now, when you use the image, tell me if I'm getting the wrong one, but when you do an image, we let you put a static URL if you want to just upload a file. We let you do a remote URL if you just have a link like this that you want to put. And if I had data, I don't have data on this screen, but if I had data, there will also be like data option in the drop down. And when you click that, you have another drop down to like which part of your data you want. What we don't allow you to do right now is kind of concatenate a string of text to create that URL the same way we do with the text component. So in the text component, you can say foo and then put a variable and then bar. So you can do all kind of stuff. So if you wanted to do, we even have an example for that. If you wanted to do, oh, you can select that. Oh, that's annoying. Look at that. Good to know. If you wanted to do the link, you can dynamically recreate the link yourself with those variable. You can do that in text. You can do that in image, which is hugely, but it's definitely a limitation, particularly when you don't own your backend, when you use like a third-party backend and you don't have the option to change that on your backend. So I'm glad you brought that up. That is something we're looking into. Definitely a good question. We're going to try to address that. Okay, let's see. 2 more minutes. What do we got? Anything interesting that you've seen, Rahul, that might be good to answer?
In 2 minutes of time, I think we don't have anything that I can bring up.
Yeah, it's a little ambitious.
Yeah, so that I'm really excited about that React query thing, which we are working on. And once that is, out and about, I'm sure a lot of users will be really happy and they would be able to, do a lot more with their applications. So I'm excited for that feature as well.
Yep, I fully agree. All right. Oh, wait, was that? I look at all the thing and it seems like most of them are already answered by you or Nick or myself. So, sounds like we're in a good spot. If we did not get to your answer or to your question, reach out on community or anywhere else that you can reach out to us. I mean, community is the best place to do it. So definitely do that first. And then we'll try to do another one of those office hour next week. I don't know. We have to figure out the time, what works best for everybody. Maybe Thursday. I know Thursday is typically our peak of user and community. So maybe Thursday is a good day for that. We'll figure it out. We'll discuss and come back. But the idea is to do that every week. All right. Any parting words, Rahul? We all good?
Yep. I would say come in next week, guys. Make sure that you have your questions available because Georges, he's the expert and he's the best guy to reach out to if you have any problems. Or you can obviously reach out to community as well. But having a live session like this, which George does, taking out his precious time for our community, I think we should appreciate that. And thank you, George. And even I got to learn a lot today as well. So I'm learning as well with everyone else here, just to let you know. So, thanks again, Josh, and thanks for having me here as well. And I hope we, everyone got to take home something from this session as well. So, and thanks for being here, for whoever is watching.
Sounds good. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.